Alright YouTube, what is going on guys? How are you doing? Welcome back to another video in the family room. Okay guys, I don't know why that's the title or that's why I introduce it that way, but I do. It's what comes. Anyways, you read the title of this video guys. We are speaking of 3 ways to overcome intense fear, doubt, anxiety, sadness, anger, basically any emotion that you don't really want, okay? And you know, I've made videos similar to this in different styles, but the main reason as to why guys, you know, kind of in a nutshell, yesterday was not a great day. Okay, we all have these. I'm no different, and there was a lot of those just unwanted emotions. So we're going to speak or break down super simple to you guys as creators or individuals, as people on your quest, on your passions, on your purpose, what to do when you have these massive days that just literally hit you in the back of the head out of nowhere. They can last, you know, longer than you want, and just how to look at them, see them, and say peace. All right, so let's get straight to it with step number 1. This guys is to accept it. Okay, now this may sound very similar to a meditation video, which it kind of is in a nutshell, which will wrap up in the end, but one's to accept it. Okay, now what do I mean by accepting it? Accepting it, it is there. Okay, it is what it is. So as a bit of context to you guys, I deal with something called OCD, okay, obsessive compulsive disorder, and this is one of the flares that happened yesterday. Okay, I'm not going to explain what that is. Obsessive compulsive disorder, if you know, you know, but basically you can get triggered, okay, and just things happen. Now when that happened yesterday massively, which was just one of the things, it was a plethora, it just yesterday just a lot of things. You just have these days. Okay, the first thing I had to do once I got triggered, eventually after fighting it, because initially you're going to want to fight it, you're going to resist it as much as you can, you're going to tell yourself no, this isn't happening, or no, that didn't happen, or you're like, this is a lot of resistance. Okay, this is before step 1, which is acceptance. We're resisting it. If you know, maybe this happened to you, your girl broke up with you or got mad at you, or this happened in traffic, or you know, this happened, the first thing we're going to do, like I said, is resist. Once we can get over that and accept, breathe. I'm not saying you have to be happy. Accepting it doesn't mean you're like, oh, amazing, I've accepted this. No, it just means all right, it happened, it did. Okay, now let's move straight into phase 2, because they're all step by step. Once you've accepted it, this is number 1. You've accepted that you are scared shitless, you are angry, you're frustrated, you're annoyed, you are doubtful, whatever it is, and you've accepted that, holy shit, okay, this is what it is, I'm feeling this way, I'm owning it. You're not running away from it. Okay, I wish I had a tea with me. And then we move on to number 2. Step 2 guys is to then assess. Okay, assess it. But you need to accept it before you can assess it, because if you're still resisting, you won't be able to assess what's going on. Not from a grounded standpoint. You're fighting it. Once we've accepted it, we move on to assess it. Now, what does this mean? Assess means, okay, now why did I get triggered? Or why did this happen? Okay, so for the OCD thing yesterday, I know exactly what happened. I'm not going to go into detail because it's going to sound silly to you guys, but it sounds funny, but like someone touched something, basically like mishandled my gear, my camera gear, which isn't really an OCD. It got exacerbated by that, but someone in the family, by accident, they mishandled camera gear that was quite expensive, and I got a little upset to an obsessive stamp because it didn't get damaged, but like to me in my mind, you know, it like broke. Okay, that's what OCD does. It flares things up. If you like just hit your camera to, you know, someone with OCD, it could be like, you fucking shattered it, what's wrong with you? So that was the flare. Once I accepted that I'm not feeling good, you just fucking touched my thing, okay, my whatever it is, mic, camera, lens, whatever. Number 2 is assess. Okay, why am I getting so mad? And I knew right then and there it's because of my OCD. I knew from the second. So the same thing with you guys. Okay, if your girlfriend broke up with you, now assess. Like, this is now your time to, you don't want to go too deep down this rabbit hole, and this is where phase 3 is going to come into, but you do want to objectively begin to understand like why, because you don't want this to happen again, right? Of course not. So this is where 2 comes into place. Like, we need to understand why we got triggered so it doesn't happen again. I knew it was my OCD. I knew it. We're about to get to phase 3. So thankfully I was able to assess it quickly. Like, I knew from the get-go why I got so triggered. A lot of people don't know though. So ask yourself why, try to begin to dissect, like, why are you feeling, you know, worried? Is it a money issue? Is it a weight issue, like a weight gain issue? Is it a relationship issue? Is it a You know, you have no friends. Like write it down if you have to. Meditate, write it down. Talk to a friend. Like, you need to know why, though. This is very important. If you don't know, you can't fix a leak in the wall if you don't know where the leak's coming from. You need to assess. You need to know that's why. There is water on the floor because the hole is right there and there and there. But you need to know why, okay? Just at least where they are, all right? And we can all do this, believe it or not. And I think most of you understand why, which we're going to move to. If you know why, amazing. We're going to move to section 3. But if you don't, begin to dissect, write it down, think why, talk to people, talk to their girlfriend, talk to your friends. Why? I think most of you know why, though. We then move on to number 3, okay? And this is like a cycle, really. I believe you'll learn this if you go to therapy sessions. This isn't why I'm saying it, but this is just how it happens. Number 3, it's called like the 3 A's. Accept, assess. Number 3, step 3 to overcome these emotions or feelings is to take action. This is action, okay? Accept, assess, action. Now, action in this case, okay? So my camera gear, which kind of got mishandled a little bit, which really wasn't a big deal, but to me, it was it was like a lot worse, okay? What's action? What does that mean? Well, action now is just not letting it happen again. And I don't mean these people mishandling the gear, because that's inevitable. I can't control what happens. I can't control if someone accidentally knocks my tripod over this. Like, I can't control that. I can control how I react to that, though. I can really help and control with that flare, and I can make sure it doesn't happen again. And so can you with your issue, with your anxiety, with your doubt, with your fear. All of these things are programmed, okay? Emotions happen because we are the issue. We keep the loop going. An emotion can only develop a psychological loop if we feed it fire. Does that make sense? It's like if you give it food, you know? Otherwise, if you starve it, it can't. No matter how big the fear is, the emotion, the doubt, if you starve it, if you don't give it the fuel it needs to breed, it can't. It's impossible. And how do I know? Well, look at people. The fears you have, some other people don't have. Well, why don't they have the same fears as you? Well, it's because they didn't feed that fear like you did. And vice versa. I'm not saying people are any better than anyone. I have fears that you guys would never have, that you'd look at me and be like, just like what happened. I guarantee you, if it was any one of you and you saw that, you'd be like, you would not think twice. You'd go back to every day. Or vice versa, though. You guys may deal with things that you freak out about, and I would laugh. Okay? We are the reason. We give our fears fuel. And we give it fuel by what I just said before. We're not carrying out this step or this process. Okay? We continue to resist it. We continue to fight it. And fighting only makes it worse. This is why you need to follow these 3 steps. Most people don't even get to step 1, which is just to accept it. Most people don't get to that. They deny it, right? Deny it, blame, wrong, victim. And I get into these standpoints from time to time. Thankfully, I'm able to get out fairly quickly. But, like, this is the scary part, man. A lot of people stay into these states. If something happens to them, they stay into that resisting game. Blaming your fault because they're resisting, right? I'll repeat it again, okay? Step number 1, for any emotion, I don't give 2 shits what it is, okay? I was just having a day yesterday, it was all of them. Step 1 is to accept. If you're having relationship issues or money issues or life issues, whatever it is, you accept that. This sucks. But it's happening, or it's happened. It fucking happened, okay? You've accepted it. You're 90% there. You are 90% there because from this point, you have a lot of power. You now have the gasoline that you have. See, once you've accepted it, you haven't yet lit the fire yet. You have the gasoline in your hand. You can control what to do at this point. This is why I say you need to get to step 1 first, because if you're not here, you're just lighting stuff, right? It's a subconscious thing. You just will, because people don't like pain and they like to resist things. So they'll just go away, but they're putting more gasoline on it. They're, leave me alone, right? Accepting it, saying, hold up. You have it. Now assess. What do I do next? You want to throw it on the fire, but what do I do next? Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to throw it on the fire? Why is this happening? And from that, you take action and you decide what to do next. And maybe the resourceful thing is to not throw it on. Maybe it's just to put it back down. And you've just completed the cycle. You just broke it. Your fear it can't breathe. You killed it. It needs you to light the gasoline, and you're saying, hey, you know what? I'm chilling. You're going to die out soon. And it does. 100%. I use that analogy, that metaphor. You can search ERP, exposure response prevention, the neuroscience of how fears work. I mean, guys, this is common sense, okay? This isn't like, maybe it is to some of you guys revolutionary, these ideas, but these are ideas I had to learn years ago because I have something called OCD. So I have to, I need to understand how to stop these, you can call them whatever you want, obsessions, demons, thoughts. I need to know how to stop these in their tracks before they get very big. Because when they get big, that's how problems happen. And that's with anything. It's not just OCD, that's with anything, right? I need to know very quickly whether little tiny kids you're not growing. It's like weeds. You gotta pluck them quick. The faster, the better. But sometimes, and I'm going to wrap it up here, they get big, like what happened yesterday. And I'm going to finish it here, okay? I want to actually really finish it at this note. If you still get triggered, okay, and you have these fears or these doubts or these anxieties, that does not mean you are weak. That does not mean that you're a failure. That does not mean that you're any less than anyone. That's actually an amazing thing, because it goes to show you that you still have some work to do. You still have some of those weeds hidden around in your psyche, really. And that's okay. That's amazing. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, they're not even aware that they have weeds in their mind. They have like millions. They just don't even know. Thankfully, you're at least able to know. So here's where I'm going to finish it off. I told myself, regardless if this actually happens or not, I do believe to an extent it will. I told myself, OCD in general, these fears, because that was one of the last big ones. These fears of perfectionism, whatever you want to call it. Like, dude, I am done. I am done. I am not OCD. I am not my fears. I am not my demons. Like, I am done with this, bro. I have no time. I was continuing to light that fire. Dude, I'm fucking done. Like, for the version I want to be, the person I want to be, he or she will not deal with things like this. Bon voyage. I am finished. And you need to make that oath to yourself. You have to make that promise to yourself. No matter how many times you start back over, you have to tell yourself, dude, like, you are not your fears. Okay, and I mean that. You're not your fears, your anxieties, your worries, your anger. You are not, dude. You need to know that. And they will leave. And you will be there, pure as a butterfly. All right, so that is that. I'm going to finish it there. Right about 13 minutes. A nice little punchy short video. To me, this is short. I hope that helped, guys. I love you all. I care about you guys. I know that fear or anxiety or jealousy or anger, all these bad emotions are very real things. If you don't think they are, then then you don't know what's coming for you. I'm just going to say that. Apply these tactics, apply these tools. You'll get over it. I know this video may not get a ton of views because, look, like, people like talking about more superficial things, but I know that this will help when the time is right, when it comes to you, and you will watch this video. So there you go. Okay, I care about you guys. Thank you all again for watching, and that's that. I will finish it here, guys, with the plug as always. You can check out the creator courses down below where I speak of all of my tools and tactics to help me become a better creator, as that's what this channel is all about. It's optimal living for creators. It's helping people like you and me fulfill our passions, our purposes as creators, and we are all creators. Don't get too attached with what that word means. That doesn't mean you have to be a painter. Like, we all create things, okay? We all have passions to pursue. We all have purposes to pursue. Therefore, we are all bringing things to fruition, aka you're a creator, homie. And these tools that I make, these videos, hopefully can be of resource or aid to you on your journey. That's the entire reason why I make them, right? Improve your physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, everything. So check out the courses. They will help you on your quest. And there is a code, guide. There's a code, guys, you can use CREATE10 for 10% off on the courses. I believe I'm going to be doing that until January 1st, and I will be bringing back creator coaching, so one-on-one coaching where it's just you and I talking over the phone, okay? Anything on physical health, mental health, emotional health, etc., etc. All the tactics and tools I preach, so be on the lookout for that. It may be out now by the time you're watching this. It may not be. I'm working on that. I will get that up soon, and we will talk in the next video. I'm also making more courses soon, too, guys. We're going to... So that's that. Thanks, guys. Much love. Until next time, you are not your fears. Crush them, kill them, accept them, assess them, and let that shit go. Peace.